Thank you for joining me on Men in Minutes. Today I want to talk a little bit about education. So I've had some experience with education. I can tell you that I've had a fantastic experience in the educational world. I studied for many years. I became the practitioner I wanted to become. And then recently, I have let go of my official title as naturopathic doctor. And it's interesting when I think back to years ago, not so many years ago, but for many years I actually was planted with this thought of you don't study for 12 years to be called Mr. or Mrs. And so yes, some doctors study for 10 years, some doctors might study for 20 years. But I do know that I had this huge pride and ego attachment to the years of study I'd had and the title that it bestowed upon me. And I might have been one of the people, I was one of the people who could look at people with less education that might be calling themselves healers, and I would look down on them and think, well, they haven't studied for this many years. And yet, every healthcare practitioner that I know that has been helpful to me or my family, I don't even know their education. I don't know how many years they've studied, but I might know their title. And so that, to me, was a big deal to have a title. And so I loved the time when I was officially able to call myself doctor. And in recent times, I've been doing a lot of meditating. And I think, how do I feel now? What do I think now? Because I can follow the masses to continue to feed myself. I'm going to say it in an egoic way of feeling like this is a wonderful title and that means I'm better than some. And I might feel lesser than some others. I might feel lesser than a surgeon, for example. I might feel lesser than a PhD in anything, even though it's a doctor as well, just because I automatically think about the years of education, which is interesting. And today it's interesting that I can actually look at these titles and think, so what? I know many naturopathic doctors, and there will be a handful that I think are fabulous. I know medical doctors, and there will be a handful that I think are fabulous. And it's always the connection that practitioners or people make with me that creates the biggest impact for me, my mind, and my trust in them. So today, if I look at someone who calls themselves a healer or someone who knows some information about healthcare products, I might still actually think about how do they know this information. And then I might listen to what they're saying. Is it information that's coming from a particular company that they're working for? I'll do the same sort of thinking when I read any sort of research, because we all know that a lot of research is created by companies that are creating either a product or a pharmaceutical, anything. There might be a vested interest. But when things are coming from a good place, even if it's because there's a vested interest, someone is promoting themselves because they know something, sometimes they just really do. And this is nice to know too, because really, when we're putting up labels as defining whether or not someone knows information, it's very limiting. And it's very egoic. In the past, I would look at professions that might take maybe a year, maybe 6 months, maybe even less to graduate from and feel better than. Well, I did so many more years than that, so that makes me better. But the authentic person that's treating is really what's most important. Again and again through history, I've had this repeatedly impressed upon me, again from research to actual experience, that it is a therapeutic connection between a practitioner and the people that they work with, whether you call them patients or clients or friends, that matters. How authentic and genuine is it? How much care and compassion is there? When I look at titles today, I also think about who are the people that I admire the most. I don't even know their titles and I don't know their academic backgrounds. So I look at Mother Teresa, I look at Mahatma Gandhi, I look at authors, and yet I might know them by their names. Of course, I've been impressed by Eckhart Tolle. I'm impressed by leaders like Martin Luther King, Bishop Desmond Tutu. But it's what they're doing that matters. It's the compassion and conviction with which people do what they do for nothing greater than believing in what they're doing and believing in the good that they're doing and truly sharing good with the world. That, to me, means more than any academic history or title. And so today, I would challenge you to think of, who do you admire and value the most? Is it because of their title? Or is it because of the care, compassion, or interaction you felt from them? Or is it because of the work that they have done or are doing? It's good to be mindful about these things, my friends. Have a great day, and thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.